Alright, so for this question we have these two different types of corn seed that were planted, and just FYI, there is one very much like this on the test. We're going to construct a 95% confidence interval estimate of the difference between the type 1 and type 2 yields. Alright, so in this example, mu d is the mean value of the differences d for the population of all pairs of data. So this is a matched pairs thing. Matched pairs is typically when we want to compare something that's identical to itself. Now if you want to compare men to women, that's not typically matched pairs. Matched pairs is when you're comparing, typically, like if it's humans, it's the men to themselves, or in this case corn. There's really no distinguishing between the corn. They didn't say there was something going on there. So what we first need to do is enter this data. So in list 1, I'm going to put in type 1. Alright, so that's 2090, 1987, 2120, and so on, right? See, I'm entering this row of data here. So I'm going to enter the data and I'll come back. Alright, so I've got the two sets entered. So when we want to do a matched pairs question, that's when we take the difference between the two rows. So in list 3, I'm going to take the difference of second, and I go down here and click 1. You see how right above 1 there's L1, and I'm going to subtract second L2. And what that does is it automatically takes the difference between 2090 and 2009 and 2006 and gives me 84. Alright, so list 3 is basically this column minus this column. So I'm going to go over and do stat tests, and now here I'm going to do an interval, and it's a t interval because it's a small set of data, and we don't know population standard deviation. So I'm going to use data, and my list is going to be list 3. Alright, it's in lead frequency at 1, and the confidence level is 95%, and we go and press calculate, and that's where we get that the t interval for the difference calculations is, is 25.43 on the lower end and 101.32 on the upper end. That was the values from our calculations. Alright, and so because the confidence interval only includes positive values and does not include 0, there's sufficient evidence to support Farmer Joe's claim. So what he's found out is that apparently type 1 has a higher yield than type 2, and so that's what he's trying to compare is I have these 8 different plots where I planted type 1 seed and these other 8 plots where I planted type 2 seed, and you can see the numbers seem to be bigger in every case. This test is basically confirming that there is a difference between those two types of corn seed and our 95% confidence interval, since it shows that that 95%, we're 95% confidence that the difference between the type 1 and type 2 seed is between 25 pounds to 101 pounds of yield for this particular variety of corn seed.